Hi, I'm Natalie Rosefeller. I'm a professional makeup artist based in London, and I'm going to be giving the ARIA makeup brush set a test today. So when I'm looking for a brush, I'm looking for a brush that doesn't shed as easily. You don't want those bristles going onto the client's face or onto your own face, because you can actually ruin the makeup trying to pick those bristles off your face. I'm also looking for softness. My clients really do comment on the softness of a brush. It really does make the experience a lot more luxurious. And also how it applies the product, whether it's going to go on streak-free, whether it's going to go on smoothly. And also, again, whilst making sure that it cleans easily. It looks like I haven't touched these. I've actually used these a few times. So let's get started and go through each brush one by one. So first things first, it's really great that it comes in a little compact brush belt like this, really good for traveling. You also want to keep your brushes separate from your personal makeup because it can damage the brushes. It's nice to have them separate in a pouch for hygiene reasons as well. So let's go through each one now. So first we've got the big powder brush. First impression, super soft. I remember feeling this brush when I first got this set. Very soft. I really like that the dome isn't too peaked up and it is still quite dense. It's got a good bit of flexibility to it, but not too flexible, so you can still get a really smooth, even distribution of product there on this one as well. Next thing we have the flat foundation brush. This is really good for cream products. It's really nice and dense. I actually use this to apply my cream bronzer when I pat that onto the skin like that, but it is a really good foundation brush for cream foundations as well. I really love using this brush, however, for foundation. I really love the Sculpting foundation brush. This one has a nice dome to it. It's got a good firmness to it. It's not flimsy, it's very dense, and I can really get into these little areas here because of the shape of it and press the product in really nicely, and it cleans very nicely. I've used this with deeper skin tones as well, and it has come back brand spanking new, clean, super easy. Next we have the angled contour brush. This is very similar in density to this brush, maybe just a little bit like not as firm, a little bit softer. I really like for this one, I like using this as a foundation brush as well, but it's really good if you want to pack any cream products on, say for contour, as it is an angled contour brush. You can use it for those areas here, also on the sides of the nose and in and under here. It's really good as well. Next we have the precision blush brush. I love the size of this. It's perfect. It's not too big, it's not too small, but I also really like that it has a lot of give to it. This means that you don't get that super high concentration of blusher when you apply it directly. You get quite a nice soft finish to it, and it has a nice bit of flexibility, so you can blend around in those areas as well. Next is the tapered blending brush. This is the perfect shape for your eyeshadow. You want to get into that crease. It's got a nice bit of give to it, so it doesn't create too much stiffness when you're trying to blend and smudge, but it's not too soft that it doesn't do anything at all. It's got that perfect balance in there. I actually really like using this as a concealer brush as well, because it is synthetic and because they are all vegan. This brush really is great for powder and for cream, and I find that for most of these brushes as well. They work both ways with powder and cream. Next we have the Pro Smudge Brush. This is a very nicely dense sort of angled smudge brush. It's a nice size. If you want to get those smudge liner looks, you can really get in and smudge that liner out, or if you want to create those really detailed looks where you're going in to the crease, it's the perfect shape for that crease area there. Next we have the Flawless Concealer Brush, a classic flat paddle brush for concealing. This is really good if you want a concentrated amount of pigment, or you want to sharpen off underneath your eyeshadow. It's really good to pat concealer in to those areas or on blemishes and things like that. Next we have the All Over Eyeshadow brush. This one is like the Tapered blending brush, but it's a little bit shorter and it's a little bit wider. And this is really good for applying eyeshadow, for blending out, but also as well, I have used this as a concealer for buffing in the concealer under the eyes or around the nose. It's also a very good one as well. Next we have the angled eyeliner brush. This is also really good to use on your brows as well, but this is a really good shape just for any detailed line work that you need to use. It's not too big, it's not too small. You you can just use that if you use a pencil eyeliner, you can then use it to drag out that line and it'll come in a nice line shape. And last but not least, we have the lip defining brush. Now this is really good for very precise lipstick work, for red lipsticks or bright colored lipsticks, or you can use it really nicely with concealer to define around that lip line, or for any spot work that you need to do. It's a very nice shape, it's a very nice density for that kind of work too. So I'm actually now going to go in and apply a little bit of foundation on my face. I'm going to go in with my favorite brush from the collection, which is the Sculpting foundation brush. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to just show you. This is actually a light to medium coverage foundation, but because of how the brush is so nice and dense, it just really nicely coats the skin with foundation. No brush strokes whatsoever. I'm going to just do one side as well so you can see. Look how effortless and streak-free that application was. The skin still looks like skin because it really presses and pushes the product into the skin. I haven't used any other brush to blend that out. That has been solely just this brush. You can apply and you can buff into the skin depending on the motion. So if you want to sweep on and then pat into the skin, you still don't get any streaks in comparison. Let me do the other side now. And that's my base ready for my evening plans. I'm going to carry on getting ready using the rest of the brushes, but this is using the Sculpting foundation brush just with my foundation. I'm not even gone in with concealer yet. It's applied it so evenly and so smoothly. And also there is a 2-year guarantee with the never shed technology that you're not going to get any shedding. I've not experienced a drip of shedding yet. Normally when you get brand new brushes, there's a little bit of the beginning shed that happens. Hasn't happened once with these, which is incredible. So that is something as well to point out. That's how the quality of these are amazing.